Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so sorry. We are actually a little late. I know you've been sitting by your laptop just anxiously awaiting this exclusive interview with El Presidente himself. But Alex Assaley, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
So glad to see you. We've been hanging out this whole conference. We've been having an absolute blast. I've been giving him a hard time because he's like kind of an important man. So you got to track him down. But we have decided you are officially the youngest president of NAPA.
I think so. The youngest and second tallest
Second
president
tallest
of NAPA.
How do you reach that level of success at 38 years old? How did you get there?
Well, I think, I've said this before. I'm incredibly fortunate that when I first started in the industry, the retirement plan industry is a very collegial environment, focused advisors who are working to help employees and organizations create awesome retirement plans. And we share best practices. And so when I first started about 16 years ago, there were some industry leaders and pioneers that gave me a lot of advice and mentorship and allowed me with the opportunity to, I think, develop and grow into a very forward-thinking and humbly, I'll say, a good advisor. And so a lot of hard work, a lot of great people that helped me, and probably a lot of luck too.
So make that connection for us, because you're a practicing advisor. You have a successful practice. You lead a team. You work with clients. How do you go from working in your business every day to being politically engaged? Like, how do you get involved in NAPA and why?
Well, I think that, the mission and vision of our firm is to help more of America's workers have financial security and financial success. And we do that by delivering proactive and full scope guidance and advice to companies and organizations and their employees. And a lot of the work that we do is driven by retirement policy, whether it's from a legislative perspective or a regulatory perspective. So having an association like NAPA, like the American Retirement Association, that is advocating for the private retirement system for practitioners like you and me and the record keepers and really the full scope of the retirement landscape is really valuable. And so I've had the opportunity to be involved for the last several years, and I really enjoy that ability to help shape some of the ideas and policy, and with the support of NAPA, of course. But it's also important to give back, and I think that that's been really a fun and invigorating component of the work that we do at AFS, is being able to give back. From an association perspective, NAPA, we do the same thing in our own community in the Washington, D.C. area, and giving back our time and energy to help organizations by delivering financial sessions and financial planning to some of our neighbors and community members that need it. Not from a client perspective, but just in a way to do that and giving back. So, the more that I've been involved in NAPA and the ARA, the more that I've enjoyed it. And for whatever reason, they felt that I've been a good steward of the association. And so I found myself in this position as the current president, and it's been great so far. It's a lot of work, but it's important work. And so I'm having fun doing it.
It's one of those where you get back what you give, right? The more you give into an organization like this, the more you're involved in the industry, the more you're speaking and networking at these conferences, the more you're going to get back. So I have a serious question. Have you always been politically motivated? And what I mean by that is, were you class president?
No. I try to actually be pretty, apolitical or pragmatic around just bigger picture issues. I was involved in student government a little bit in high school, but I also lost some elections. So
wow. So now you're making up for lost time.
That's right. Now
so I'll just be president of NAPA. It's fine.
Instead of my small high school of 700 people when I was growing up in a small town. So.
He's not bitter about that at all. So let's talk about your vision for the future. Okay, whether as an advisor yourself or NAPA president, like what to you is success? What is a successful term? What is a successful organization?
Well, I think I'll start just in terms of the work that we do as retirement advisors. So at AFS, at our firm, our kind of tagline is that we want people to enjoy their life, all of it. And so what we mean by that is helping individuals and their families make wise financial decisions for today, tomorrow, and their long-term future. And inside the workplace is a real native or natural environment for that to happen. And so being able to deliver financial guidance, coaching, and advice inside of the workplace for an employee on improving their long-term savings and retirement plan, but also helping them with other financial goals and milestones that happen between today and retirement, right? Because for everybody, whether you're 25, 45, or even 55, there are a lot of financial priorities that you're going to have that aren't just retirement.
Well before retirement.
Before retirement. Yeah. So we think about that in the context of everything we do around AFS. How are we helping people improve their financial know-how and get on track to be financially successful and have financial security? How that relates to NAPA and the work that we do at a national level at the association is empowering advisors and practitioners like yourself, myself, and all of our peers across the country to have the tools, the resources, and the framework to deliver that. And so one of the biggest challenges that we have has been highlighted here at the convention is that somewhere around 50% of employees and workers in this country don't have access to a 401k plan or some sort of retirement plan. And that's most highly impacting minority individuals and families.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Right. Okay. So Black and Latinx communities have a much lower percentage of access to retirement plans. So expanding coverage, ensuring that all of our country's workforce have access to a retirement vehicle is incredibly important. And, some of the design features that we've seen in retirement plans really work. So again, in that conversation of expanding coverage, automatically enrolling people in retirement plans has, shown demonstrable success on getting people on track for retirement. Now, the other parts of that we are somewhat in the works and bills are helping people with emergency savings, helping people pay down and pay off student loans. I think all those things come together. So at NAPA and for the next year or so while I'm serving in this capacity with a number of other great advisors who are part of this leadership council, we're thinking about ways to work with policymakers on ensuring that it's easier for our country's workforce to have access to a retirement plan, to have a plan that works for them, and also help them with these other areas of their financial life.
Just remove the barriers to entry, right? I mean, what we have here is so awesome in the payroll deduct program. We know a payroll deduct program is the easiest way for people to meet any financial goals, whether it be long-term or short-term. So we just want to use the existing system to help them meet the more immediate financial needs, which I don't know about you. We hear about this all the time. I mean, we have employers asking us, we got student loan issues, we've got emergency issues. It's a huge topic for us. A lot of times we're saying, we're benefit advisors, right? The scope of being a retirement plan advisor has gone well beyond just retirement.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say over the last couple of years, the primary area of the one-on-one coaching that we do for employees inside these organizations we serve is around cash flow management or what might be called budgeting and building up emergency savings. Those are like the two priorities that most of our conversations will stem around. We get that we're helping them understand the retirement program and get set up in a way that makes sense for them. In a lot of cases, it's ensuring they're getting the full match or maybe increasing their savings. But there are these foundational components to financial security that are really important, like understanding your cash flow, the money you have coming in every pay period and where that money is going. And then from there, ensuring that you've got this cushion of emergency savings that's going to help you when you have some unexpected expense. And then, the next one obviously is debt management, paying down some of these debts that people have, student loans being probably the largest burden for young professionals in the workforce.
How can I be worried about something 30 years from now when I have $30,000 of student debt? Yeah, absolutely. So help us understand, if you are a retirement plan advisor and you want to start being involved with NAPA and the ARA, where's the entry point? Like, where do we start? Do we join committees? What do we do?
So there are a lot of different ways to get involved. I think, the first piece would be to look at a lot of the different tools and resources that NAPA has available for advisors in our industry. So every year, one of our flagship conferences is the NAPA Fly-In Forum. It typically happens around July timeframe, where advisors fly into the DC area. Now it's been remote the last 2 years in a virtual environment, but hopefully we'll be in person in 2022. But you get the opportunity to hear directly from legislators and policymakers around retirement policy, and then speak with your speak with your elected officials around retirement policy and the things that are most important. So that's a great way to get started. But NAPA's also rolled out a number of different programs recently, ESG investing, has been a hot button issue here recently. And to educate us as advisors, NAPA's created a curriculum program, the NAPA ESGK. Right. So there are a lot of resources like that I think are a good entry, sort of foundational piece to get started. And then from there, we have a government affairs committee. There are committees that help to create the content and agenda around these conventions, like the 401k Summit or the Non-Qualified Plan Summit or the Women's in Retirement Conference. So a lot of great places. And if you're looking for ways to get involved, check out napanet.org. Feel free to reach out to me or the 401k lady, and we'll make sure
I can connect you to someone.
that for those who are looking to help, and this is NAPA is our industry's association, so it's really we as advisors, TPAs, record keepers are all responsible for helping to further the mission and the cause of NAPA, and can help shape that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's obvious when you join, your association, right? You network. You meet people, you learn incredible things, you grow as a professional, but also it demonstrates to your clients that you're actively engaged, right? We're not just passionate about our business. We're passionate about the industry. We're passionate about improving it. And so I think just demonstrating for your clients and prospective clients that you're actively engaged in the association is a great step too. So Alex, thank you so much. We're wrapping up here. We're almost done here in Las Vegas. Then we have to go back to real work.
The real world. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Good to see everybody. Take care. We'll see you, I guess, on social.
Sometime. Bye, guys.